10 seconds, 5 seconds.
Start. Replying to the debate in the Lok Sabha, the Minister of Commerce, Civil Supplies and Cooperation said, I am grateful to the House and to the honorable members for the various constructive suggestions and also the criticism which has come in a constructive way by and large. At the outset, I would like to say that the matter being discussed in the House is of great importance in the economy and prosperity of our country. It has been said in the House that the government has no concern whatsoever with the trade deficit. As far as experts of this country are concerned, I would like to dispel such notions at the outset and say that this is not correct. Government is very well concerned with the increase in trade deficit and particularly the international situation as has been created because the steep rise in prices of petroleum and petroleum products and several other products that are so vitally required including fertilizers by way of inputs for our industry and agriculture. It has severely affected not only the economy of our country but the economics of several developing countries. Under the circumstances, there cannot be two opinions that if you want to achieve our objective of self reliance, more and more efforts shall have to be made with a view to more and more exports so that this yawning gap of trade deficit is bridged and that too as early as possible. It was said in the House that there is no philosophy. I am constrained to listen to that sort of criticism. Within these 2 years, if you refer not only to reports but also to the various pamphlets and also to the stock that we have taken of the performance of our ministry, you will find that I have made it very clear that we believe in not only philosophy but planned growth of our economy, including planned strategy of foreign trade. And it is in this context that we think of the objectives. What are those objectives? How should the whole foreign trade behave? The foreign trade shall have to behave in tune with the national development strategy and of accepted socio-economic objectives by the country. Attainment of self-reliance is one of such major objectives. We would like to acquire new science and technology. We would like to transfer this new science and technology with a view to suit the conditions of our country. We would very much like to, so far as foreign trade is concerned, it should necessarily help in solving the massive mountains problems in the country, including the problem of poverty and unemployment. Therefore, more emphasis shall have to be laid while having these exports to see that the exportable surplus products are as far as possible manufactured in such areas as in the small scale sector, in the village and cottage industry sector, whereby we can generate more and more employment at one end and also we can earn better foreign exchange at the other end. Along with this, we want more and more foreign exchange because we shall have to take care of the development and the inputs required by our industry, by our agriculture, and some occasions we need even for human consumption. Ultimately, what is all this for? What do we want this foreign trade for? It is a man who should be the supreme consideration. It is in this context that we shall have to earn more and more foreign exchange with a view to meet the increasing demands of our country, maybe for industrial purposes, for agricultural purposes, and for human consumption also. Let us look at the consumption level of the country today. There cannot be two opinions that we shall have to earn more and more foreign exchange to meet these increasing demands of our country. But while doing that, again, we are clear about one thing. This country, during the past few years, has created its own infrastructure for the industrial and agricultural growth and also possible protection shall have to be given for our indigenous production, whether in the industrial sector or agricultural sector. So taking that care, we shall have to allow this new science and technology to come into the country. Ours is not a country where we can invest more and more capital for research and development. While modern countries are developing that fast when we cannot invest on research and development in the country if we want to acquire that new science and technology. For that also foreign exchange shall be needed. Besides, how can we forget that if you want to progress further, stabilization of prices shall have to be ensured. This is an instrument which can be used not only in meeting the demands which indicated just now, but also in stabilizing the price line in the country. It is in this way that this instrument shall have to be utilized. Then I am not going into the philosophy of strikes and other things. I am one of those persons who have fought for the rights of workers. But let us not forget that there are areas where all possible efforts have to be made in the interests of the country to avoid strikes and lockouts as the case may be. Because of the strikes, you are well aware how much damage it has been done. Then the house should not forget that even though we have suffered because of this downfall of prices in the international markets, we have simultaneously earned much more so far as other products are concerned. From the dynamic sectors, we have earned more. There are many sectors where we can earn much more. This house should be happy to know that the experts from the small scale and cottage sector have their own tremendous improvement. This is the change. It has provided jobs to many thousands of people. I shall now be assuring this house that we will leave no stone unturned in fulfilling the objectives that we have accepted by removing the drawbacks and bringing in new cultural and new orientation. Thanking you, sir.